What's the actual difference between AI content that ranks and AI content that gets ignored?
For example, if you're not adding more information or a unique aspect to it, if you are doing some review and every other review says the same thing, like this has a bad remote or something for any physical product, but if you clarify on why it has a bad remote, what can make it better or something like that, like any new information that Google doesn't find somewhere on the rest of the articles, you will actually rank.
What types of keywords are working best in the case of AI?
Listicle articles are working really well.
And what is not working?
It depends on niche to niche. So for example, if you are in a very competitive niche, the content alone won't help you rank. And if you cover long tail keywords, which everyone used to before, like for example, if you wanted to rank in customer niche, you would have covered a lot of long tail keywords without building any links and you would still get traffic. But I think that is not working anymore.
What are the non-obvious red flags in our age domains that tools don't show?
I think a lot of tools don't pick up redirections that happened before in the past year. So you need to take care of that.
Anybody's just starting out in marketing, SEO and stuff. What do you think is the best business models that they can start working on that will generate them stable money?
I think it would be nice to start own service or own physical product and then do SEO for that stuff, because in the long run you will make more money from all the SEO efforts that you have done.
Hello guys, welcome to our podcast. In today's podcast, we have Vaibhav Sharda with us, founder of Autoblogging, Niche Agents and Rankera. In today's podcast, we will be discussing more around Reddit marketing, age domains, expired domain, and how content is getting reshaped with the help of AI. Can you still make and generate income with AI made sites or not? So let's get started. Vaibhav, quick introduction about yourself. Like, what are you into these days and what are you doing? How are you generating income?
Hi guys, hi Kushal, thank you for having me. I'm basically building out tools right now for SEO agencies out there, like B2B brands and stuff. So Rankera.ai is basically a Reddit marketing SaaS in a way, in which we provide done for you services for them to handle everything over Reddit on their behalf. And this is mainly for brands out there. The next one is Autoblogging.ai, and this is the oldest tool that I have, which is an AI writing tool, and I have been adding more features to it as I keep on building more sites and stuff, so I know what works and what doesn't in a way, and I keep on adding more modes to it so that it works consistently over time. The next one is nicheagent.io, which is basically a new tool for finding expired domains, and this is kind of unique because you will be able to lock into a niche, for example SEO, and then only you will be shown those domains and no one else. So you don't need to rush out there like every day and simply you can relax and book you can relax and book a domain like at your own pace instead of rushing and fighting with others who have subscribed to the same tool. So this is kind of unique. Let's see how it works. So I've been doing these three things, and lately what I've realized is I really like to build more stuff especially with Claude Code and everything out there. So this is what I like more.
Okay, so if we start out with your oldest tool itself, that is about auto blogging. So as you mentioned, what works. So what do you think, like what is working right now when it comes to writing and like content with AI? Does it actually rank, and what makes your tool different from already existing, like for example Claude Code or writing in Claude or ChatGPT? Like, why should anyone subscribe to your tool, or how your tool is different, and what findings you have on content that ranks with AI?
Claude Code can actually give you like one or two articles that are great, but if you ask it to generate like 15 or 20 articles or even 100 articles, it will go lazy and it will tell him like the statement would be like, this is a long ask or something, I'll just write a Python script so that it creates templated content for you. So it doesn't work that way when it comes to SEO. So you need to have SERP analysis. Like every article needs to go through SERP analysis. It should fetch keywords and entities from ranking articles. There's a way of writing in each, like every paragraph should start in a certain way. Every sentence should form based on semantic triples and stuff. So all these things that we have in Autoblogging, it does a lot of rewrites in the backend. So it's not just one short article that's coming out for you. So, and we keep on changing how it writes and like how the outline is formed, how the intro is written, based on all the feedback that we have, even from our partners. For example, we have 4 investors from UK who have around like 6,000 sites. So even they keep on testing different stuff, and they just tell us like, okay, this is not working with auto blogging. We need to change this or fix that. So we keep on making these subtle changes in the backend. People don't usually understand like how what goes around. Like they just see a block of text, but there is a specific reason something appears there. Now Claude Code, I don't think if you, I mean, it can work if you try to reverse engineer something, but then if you ask it to do it on scale, you will basically run out of your credits, like within a day or two. The next thing is like topical map, which we have added inside autoblogging. Now this works like about this is like 60 to 70% accurate, which is very good enough if you are starting with a new site, or if you have a brand that already does something. So it should help you out. What is working right now, I would suggest if you are a brand or a business, you need to have blog, and those blogs are working really well. You can add more listicles, you can add competitive alternative articles, comparison pages and stuff. Now, if you combine that with Reddit marketing or even some expired domain LLM feeding or something, if you put out those comparison articles out there, you will start to notice like, okay, your own brand is now, your own domain is ranking for all those terms, even if those articles out there are not showing up. So this is what we have been seeing lately. And about topical map, again, like coming back to it, you need to have a topical map. Like you just can't do some articles out there like which doesn't make no sense, which makes no sense. Like it needs to all connect to your main offering, which is called the source context of a site. And if you have a business, it really helps. If you just have a blog which is about information and stuff, that stuff is not working right now. Like AI overviews will basically scrape your content and show it to people right away. But if you have something to offer, like okay, for example, if I'm selling expired domains, I could write an article on what are expired domains, how to identify the best ones and stuff. So people will actually land up and they can click on something like, okay, these are some free domains that they can look at, or they can subscribe to get more domains and stuff. So as long as you have a CTA on the like above the fold, it should work well. So have something physical or a service that you can offer to users, and then combine it with Autoblogging AI content or whatever, and it will work for you.
What's the actual difference between AI content that ranks and AI content that gets ignored or does not get ranked?
I think the information gain is what matters. So, for example, if you're not adding more information or a unique aspect to it, if you are doing some review and every other review says the same thing, like this has a bad remote or something for any physical product, but if you clarify on why it has a bad remote or what can make it better or something like that, like any new information that Google doesn't find somewhere on the rest of the articles, you will actually rank. Now this is what's the problem with AI content, or in a way like Claude content is. It will basically read through all the articles and create a new one for you without adding any information like to the articles. So here is where autoblogging is kind of like it has an edge, because we have a source context option inside each article. So you can basically add unique information that you want to pass on to your readers. So just a sentence of it, and the entire article will be framed around it. So this way you can have more control to it. Now this works in bulk generation as well, not just a single article.
Okay, I see. And if we talk about like what types of keywords are working best in the case of AI, or we say auto blogging, and what types of keywords are unsafe or not working in terms of auto blogging or AI content?
Listicle articles are working really well. So if you have a brand, like you can just push out a lot of articles which are like, for example, top 10 AI article writing tools in German language, in Dutch language, in any language, or for top 10 article writers for SEO agencies or content writing agencies and stuff. So you can spin out a lot of this stuff, and you can mention your brand at the top and the rest of the competitors below there, and also mention why your brand is better than them. So you will have an entire article which will cover all the fan out queries that ChatGPT or AI overviews usually search for. Like for example, if you're searching for top 10 AI writing tools out there, so it will basically look for AI writing tool reviews, AI writing tool alternatives and stuff. So if you have all those articles covered, it will most likely pick up your article. The next part is you can also do comparison articles, like for example your brand versus competitor, or competitor versus your brand, create a better table, add some like straightforward statements like Autoblogging.ai is better than content at scale because of this, because of this. So if you have some clear statements out there, it will basically pick those up. Service pages are also working well. Like if you have a well-defined, like very well-defined page which has a lot of content, like maybe 20k words, hidden under different accordions or tabs and stuff, and you cover the entire topic in a way for local sites or the service page, it will work really well.
And what is not working? Like, what do you think could have worked better, but algorithm is not favoring, or it's just not working?
It depends on niche to niche. So, for example, if you are in a very competitive niche, the content alone won't help you rank. And if you cover long tail keywords only, which everyone used to before, like for example, if you wanted to rank in casino niche, you would have covered a lot of long tail keywords without building any links, and you would still get traffic. But I think that is not working anymore. The next uh, the next thing is like thin content. Like this is again, like I said, thin content can work or cannot work depending on the niche. For example, if you have a site which is about baby names, like the best baby names for male in India or something. Now if your site doesn't have a list of baby names like instantly above the fold, it won't rank. But what AI content usually do is it will basically create a lot of subheadings and stuff, like why baby names are important.
Again, templatic.
Yeah, templating. Yeah, why baby names are important, what you should name your baby for, whatever. So all this is all fluff and it won't rank. So ignore that.
So what will rank then?
Like in those niches, you should simply just have a list of different 50 top 100 different names for babies, like right away, and you can have like 150 words of content right there. And there is a lot of talk about visual semantics right now, so which is basically like solving customer or readers requirements through images like above the fold. So you can't play with that as well. Yeah.
And what do you think? How long do autoblogging sites or sites in general created using AI or templatic content actually last before it starts to decline or get hit by algorithms?
It doesn't hit right now because see, what people used to do before was they would launch a new birds niche blog or tech blog or informative blogs out there. But right now, all the businesses that are using autoblogging, because those uh, they're ranking really well and it sticks. And so as long as you have something else to offer instead of just the content on the site, it will stick for the longer run. But
As in function, what core
as in
is?
function, yeah. If you have a service or product, it will work really well because you are at the end of the day, people are coming to your site and doing something, and it's not just reading content. And if you are just
Or just clicking on a link.
yeah, correct, yeah. So if you have something to offer, or it will work for you for the longer run, in the longer run. But if you are not offering something, it's just the content. So AI overview will basically take over. You don't need to worry about any other competitor. It's Google itself that will take over your content.
Yeah, of course, like make the sub 0 CTR and stuff like that. Yeah. So, like, if we talk about as we discussed about age domains and expired domains, what are the non-obvious red flags in a age domains that tools don't show?
I think a lot of tools don't pick up redirections that happened before
In the past, yeah.
in the past year. So you need to take care of that. The next one is like anchor spams or PBA and stuff. Like what we do right now is basically we buy expired domains and we restore the site entirely from the past, but we add some different links which points to subdomains, in which we have basically added new landing pages and stuff. So if we let these domains expire in a year or two, you will have to look for those specific links which are going to the subdomain, which will be very hard to pick up, like if you do not actually analyze everything.
And like, how about the archive? Like, do you believe like a clean archive is very important, or it's not that important?
It is very important, like we usually reject all the domains which has changed history, like even once. Like it needs to be consistent. Now it is very hard to find such domains, but that's why I launched nicheagent.io, in which I get a lot of domains like within a couple of hours or so.
Okay, I see. And why do you believe that it's actually better than what tools are already existing?
It's actually better than
Why it is better than already existing tools like Spamzilla or like we have couple of other
Uh,
tools as well?
I think Spamzilla does the same thing. Like it actually analyzes the way back history, majestic backlinks and stuff. But what used to happen with Spamzilla is if I would open it right now, I would have lost maybe all the good domains out there. Like there are so many subscribers to it. There is no uniqueness or exclusivity part to it. So I just need to. I feel like I'm in constant pressure to
To
go
buy
and
domains,
to buy
hunt
the domains.
domains.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So I need some peace of mind so that I can figure out a strategy as well, like before just going on a domain hunting spree, which happens with everyone.
okay. And like, what's the test scale that you are doing with age domains?
I have used Age Humans before with AI content. It did not really work well for me because I think maybe the AI content was not that great, or maybe
You were
I
not
did not.
restoring.
I did not restore the history, yeah, and then I did not even add Search Console to it. I thought it would happen naturally. I did not focus on much, yeah, but I've only tested it like with 15 domains, and with age domains, like it's very hard to catch age domains as well because I think everyone here knows SEO.domains, so they're very active on Dropcash or sites like that. So you can actually see their profile and they will outbid you like every time. Like so any domain that you like after analysis and stuff, it
Highest
90%
chances are, yeah.
yeah, higher chances are you're not getting that domain. So it's like it felt like a waste of time in a way. Like I could focus on other stuff. Yeah.
I see. And if we move on to, Reddit, as again you mentioned that you are also building something in Reddit. So what exactly is that and how it is helping like people out there?
Yeah, so Reddit, so we have a SaaS dashboard. It's just a dashboard, it's not a tool. It's basically a done for you service for Reddit marketing, in which our army of robots will basically post on threads, do comment replies for your brand. It will basically find out all the related threads that are in your niche. For example, if someone searches for what is the best AI writing tool out there right now, if someone puts up a thread for this topic, the scanner will automatically pick it up and it will schedule some replies to it. And this is one of the things that happens. The other one is basically creating subreddits for your brand and posting threads like testicles or comparison articles. So, for example, Autoblogging versus AI again. So this is one of the articles that was published. Maybe it was not. I'll have to check. But a lot of such articles are scheduled. So we do the entire research for the brand, competitor research, and everything. We figure out the threads that will go on, the comments under those threads, and everything is scheduled. And our bot with a physical devices farm now. We started with desktop automation, but it did not work. Reddit was very quick to cache all that. So I think all our about 1,000 plus accounts got banned. But now we are managing about 600 accounts, which have been stable since like 1.5 months now. So that's quite nice. Yeah, that's quite an achievement in a way. So we basically do all the brand marketing now. Yeah, we have a couple of brands signed up. So what we do is we'll basically not post links, but mention the brand name out there in replies, and people will search for those brand names through Google and land on your site. If you do like some comparison posts, thread posts or stuff, so you can see results in like 7 days. It will start to show up on Google, like on page one instantly. And if you club that with expired domain posts out there, like which cover the same topic, it will feed more to the LLM, even AI overviews. And the next part is like leads. So some brands, even mine, which doesn't really show up on Google for the main terms, but we have been getting leads or new sales just because we published something on Reddit. Brand feeding, in a way, will help the next data set AI trains on. So in a way, the more information about your brand is out there, it will help you in the future a lot. Like for example, 2 to 3 years from now, when the next data set is trained, it will basically have all this information on what your brand is and all the positive reviews about it, positive comments. So it will definitely help.
How does it actually start to feed and manipulate to search results?
So for example, if you are see, Google has been prioritizing Reddit posts over everything else like lately. So that's if you post a new thread today, it will rank in like 7 days for the same term. unless there is already a couple of threads for the same term, it won't rank yours. But if you do a new post, you can actually check it out. So all this information, like if you have mentioned your brand out there multiple times on such threads or related threads out there, you can literally see some results like within 7 days or 10 days. Like this is the fastest SEO experiment that you can do.
What are the early warning signs, in Reddit that you feel that your account or your profile starts to get shadow banned or just not show up?
Yeah, so to identify shadow ban, if you visit a profile URL and you do not see any comments or anything, like it is completely empty, so then that account is shadow banned. But if you are moderator in any subreddit and you comment through that account in that subreddit, your moderator account will basically be able to see all the comments that the user has made. So this is one of the signs in which Reddit flags it for others, but for moderators you can see like what the recent activity has been like. The next part is if Reddit gives you a warning to not post something, like if it considers it as a spam, like right there when you post a new thing, so just do not ignore that. Just stop. Yeah, don't ignore that message. Yeah.
Okay, and do you believe that, as we know that Reddit is quite strict, do you believe that working with Reddit is not that easy?
Yeah, definitely. Reddit has been the hardest thing that I have automated so far here. Like it's been a hard grind. Yeah.
So what do you think like has worked for you, and what do you think like people miss out when they start Reddit, like be it manual, be it automated?
See, manual stuff, like everything with Reddit is basically a headache. Like it's very hard to automate, and even if you do it manually, it is very hard to do it manually. Like even much harder because with manual
Your
stuff,
scale will be limited.
yeah, your skill will be limited, and if it gets banned, your entire work for the past 3 to 4 weeks would be gone in like instantly. With at least automation, you would have some backups. Like for example, if you have like 10-20 accounts linked to a brand, even if one gets banned, you still have some presence out there. So it helps. And I would say like for Reddit, desktop automations do not work anymore. Like I have tried all the anti-detect browsers and stuff. It doesn't work. US proxy, mobile proxies and stuff. It won't work. So what you need is basically physical devices farm and then a lot of rooted phones, your custom APK in which it will help you automate stuff. It's very complex. Like what we have done is like it took me like maybe 1.5 months to figure this out and test it out. And this is quite stable now. But again, like this is again very hard as well at the same time. Yeah.
And how long someone should actually warm up account, or do you think warm up is not worth it?
No, warm up is worth it. What we do is we basically buy a couple of accounts initially and then start warming them up.
What's
So,
the warm up process?
it starts like for the first 2 days, the system will make the account scroll through different stuff, scroll through forums and stuff. It will upvote a couple of posts and join some subreddits, but on day 3 and 4 it will comment under our own subreddits, so that we as a moderator can also accept those comments, so that basically gives Reddit a good signal. Okay, this guy is making some good posts out there and not just random stuff. So I would suggest everyone to not post or reply under Ask Reddit and stuff, because if you reply something randomly, you can get banned as well. Like for example, they will ban you from Ask subreddit or some other stuff, some other subreddits like pets or something, and that gives a very bad signal to Reddit. Okay, this guy is not even posting or commenting properly under such subreddits. So there is something fishy with the account, and once it comes under the radar, any genuine post that you make will get taken down immediately. So day 3 and 4 we do a couple of comments under our own subreddits, and the system will automatically approve those comments. Day 5 and 6 we do like a bunch more comments, like 2 or 3 a day, and the same process goes on, and that's it. Like 6 days of warm-ups are enough, and from day 7 we start replying to threads out there for the brand.
What about like adding links? Are you in favor of adding links, or you believe that it's best for brand mentions and feeding LLMs? Links are not worth it.
I think at the end of the day, Reddit users are your customers, and if they think, okay, you are basically spamming links out there, so they won't become your customers. So if you add some information at the top part of the comment, like the starting part, okay, this is why I did not work because I did this and so on, and then okay, I found this brand which helped me a lot, something like that. So you need to add some information gain in the comments along with the brand mention so that it looks natural, and this way you won't basically get flagged for marketing too much.
Okay, but like again, are you in favor of adding links or you believe that it's not?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I do not add. We do not add links. We are against it because it will basically flag the accounts like instantly. Yeah.
So you don't prefer adding links?
No, no, no.
Okay, so it's like more of like brand mention for you.
Yeah, brand mention because our target is basically lead generation and feeding AI LLMs the next training data, right? So for lead generation, if they spot a link, they will basically ignore clicking that because they would say, okay, this is obvious promotion stuff, and they will instead. So the Reddit users are usually very strict as well when it comes to this. So they will basically punish you with downvotes and they will report to Reddit and stuff. So it's or even the moderators. So it's best to not add links. The next part is for feeding data to AI LLMs. I think as long as it's as long as your brand name is out there, it is kind of helping you in the long run. Like it will definitely help you. So just try to keep your account safe for as long as necessary. For example, we have a upper limit on how many comments a account makes as well in its entire life. So we do not once there are about like 50 comments or 30 comments out there for a specific brand, we stop using that account entirely. So that data is basically for the future, right? So we do not want to risk what we have done so far on an account. So yeah, so as long as your brand name is out there, not even the link, just the brand name, it's fine. But what we have been testing is also suppose if you own your own subreddit for the brand and you can add some links to the thread post as a moderator, but not as some other account which is not linked to the subreddit.
And what about like auto mod links and stuff?
You are basically your own moderator, right? Because you own the subreddit. So after maybe like a month or two of running that subreddit, you can start making some posts with some links in it.
Okay.
But it's best to not add links. Yeah.
And how do you like track ROI from Reddit when we know that attribution is quite messy?
One way is to see rise in search brand search volume. The other part is someone mentioning, okay, they found you on Reddit or something. And also you can start to see some Google rankings for keywords which were not known before or your brand name was not coming up before. Like I said, like for example, autoblogging versus Kappa, because of a few Reddit posts or something like that, it basically ranked my own site. So these are all signals which you send, and not every single signal will be trackable in a way. So it just helps you. Yeah.
Okay. And like if anybody is just starting out in marketing, SEO and stuff, what do you think is the best business models that they can start working on that will generate them stable money?
As a business, if you want to be in this field, I think you can offer something like some services to them. For example, like marketing, like brand mentions out there, like Facebook posts, Quora marketing, Reddit marketing. There are so many platforms that you can cover, and you can offer that as a service to brands. The next part is basically site optimizations and stuff. For example, like adding more content to their own landing pages. You can provide that as a service right now as well. Like you can create more comparison articles, more listicles, because those are working right now. And you can combine all that in a service and give them a package deal. And next is for as a service. I think it would be nice to start your own service or own physical product, and then do SEO for that stuff, because in the long run you will make more money from all the SEO efforts that you have done.
Okay, and you don't recommend like building up sites and stuff like doing typical SEO anymore?
No. As long as you do not have anything to sell, like don't do it. If you have something to sell, go ahead, go full on crazy with it. But if you have no service or product attached to it, it won't work.
So again, guys, that is it for today's podcast. I hope we discussed quite a lot of stuff around Reddit, around H domains, and around AI content. If you found this podcast informative and you have not subscribed to my channel, do subscribe and do check out whatever tools and services Vaibhav mentioned if you are interested in any. And again, Vaibhav, thank you for joining in. I hope you also enjoyed the conversation, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Till then, take care, bye bye, and thank you.